So I think we can start the session. Hello, everybody. My name is Otka, and I'm very happy to welcome all of you to this session on behalf of the Including You team. And the event is also the closing finale of the current edition of the Women for Women program. And it's organized by Expert Spouses Initiative and the Living In program from City of Eindhoven. So today I'm looking forward to discussing with my guests on the topic of building an let me check the topic. Yes. We are happy to discuss with the guests on the topic of how they're leading the way with dual career and collaboration. And I think we will hear how they bring the D&I on the policy level. So we will start with the presentation, and during the last 10 minutes, we will have Q&A sessions. So I want to introduce our speakers for today. We have two speakers. We have Joyce van der Velde, who's a senior HR project manager at Wageningen. I find it always difficult, university. And Joyce is an expert in several HR topics like dual career and employee experience and other contemporary HR practices. She also works directly with the management to make Wageningen a great place to work. And also she will hear her expertise, how she is bringing IND on the policy level at the university, and how it has fostered a sense of community and inclusion right from the start. So they are embedding dual career as a topic within international management, talent management and retention. So we also have Ling Tong Gai, is that correct, the name? Who is a project leader of internationalization in corporate HR at the same university. And Ling Tong is also an international herself, and she's really committed to helping other internationals to finding their place in the region. And for those who are not aware, Wageningen University is world's #1 university in the agriculture, actually. And it's the top university in the Netherlands for the last 15 years, especially for bachelor program. It's among top 15 universities globally for various other programs they offer, like food, agriculture, and plant, etc. So the reason that they're so much ahead of the game is that they take care of their employees very well. And it is not surprising that Wageningen, sorry, I find it very difficult to say. Wageningen University is offering one of the best dual career programs in the country today. And we are really happy to say that we have collaborated with them in designing the program and continue our collaboration. So having said that, I want to give the floor to our speakers and enjoy.
Well, thank you. Those are good words. Maybe a little bit too much honor because we've been working together with the Expert Spouse Initiative in Eindhoven, and they about leading the way. They also led us to implementing and conceptualizing a dual career center in collaboration with the Expert Spouse Initiative, but also in the long run with the region, the Food Valley region, we would like to collaborate with. So. As mentioned, I'm Joyce van der Velde. I'm a project manager in HR, and I've been doing that for 6 years now, and together with Ling Tong for almost 1.5 years. But before going into the details of dual career and how we came about it, it was mentioned before, we're proud to be the best university for the 16th time in a row. So there's one more to add. We are the best agricultural university, and we accepted a prize for the best employer on educational level. So that's something to be proud of. But of course, who is Wageningen? Before I'll take you up on our journey toward a dual career center. Wageningen University Research has a mission to explore the potential of nature to improve the quality of life, not only for people in Holland, but we want to do that worldwide. So that sets the target high for the international ambitions we have. Well, how do we do that? We, of course, say that people make the biggest difference within our field of work. And it's not only education, so not only chairs we have, but we also have a big research organization, also about 3,000 people. So in total, we have about 6,000 people working within Wageningen University Research. And we have about, I believe, 12,000 students at this moment. Well, as we are talking about diversity and inclusion, there are just two numbers I would like to present to you. We have 70% of our people has a non-Dutch passport. Unfortunately, this is the only way we can measure at this moment the backgrounds of people. We look at passports, so it's 70%, and we have 47% of women. Unfortunately, we see that both women and international employees tend to have kind of lower positions. So that's one of the ambitions we have with our diversity and inclusion team. Well, how do we go about having reaching our targets as an organization, and how do we make sure that people can thrive our organization even further? We said we don't want to work with hard targets, hard KPIs. We would like to get people involved in a movement. And that's why in our strategic plan for the next coming 4 years, we speak about change performance indicators. As distinct from key performance indicators. We said we have 12, almost every, half of the CPIs is focused on people. And the one that Ling Tong and I are working most on is, of course, mobility, diversity, and rejuvenation as a leading principle within our organization. In that organization, we would like to have employee journeys. So what we do now in order to develop policy or making our targets known, we are thinking about employee journeys. So what do our people want? And we would like to make 4 promises to our employees if they are working for us. It's still a draft, so it's an ongoing process, but I think it's fair to say that these are the 4 promises in the main points we would like to make to our employees. So we said we would like to recruit and retain talent worldwide. We would like to facilitate your talents and make you flourish with your talents, working in organizing and professional development. So those journeys we try to conceptualize in making offers to our employees. That's a different way of thinking within our organization, because we were a very traditional, a few years ago, we were a very traditional organization. We tend to think in levels, in management levels, in employee levels, and we tend to think in offering products and services to our people instead of thinking about what our people would want. So that is really, for us, it was a game changer in the mindset we took, also with regards to dual career and retaining talent. But also in the economic world or in the world around us, we saw some shifting mindset, some trends, which helped us in that different mindset we took. So we, of course, know there's a public debate about inclusion, about diversity and inclusion, to be more specific. We also saw that there is a war on talent, and attracting talent is difficult, but retaining the talent we recruited is even more vital to our organization. In doing so, we also noticed that creating a safe working environment is very important. And we need a critical mass for that. So that means that we are speaking about networking. We're trying to build cohort groups. That is also important in creating that environment in which people would like to work and would like to interact with us. Of course, there is the COVID pandemic, which made making contact with each other even more easy. But it also meant that we get an insight into our people's homes. So you're now looking in my living room, and that's not a picture you often see. and maybe you will see my children walking around, but that is me as a person. So instead of someone going to work and being an employee, I am now someone in a home having children. So the complete picture of me is getting expanded. And that's also something we see when we hire people. We hire not only the person who does the job, we hire a person who is a mother, who is a father, who is a caretaker. And that helps us in shifting our mindset to what is important in the life of that person, of that employee. Well, we'll say a little bit more about that in a few minutes. We tried to, as a team of diversity and inclusion team, we try to think big. So we have ambitious aims, but we start small. And that is an approach we took with the Dual Career Center. We said we will do it, not elaborately talk about it first, and having business plans and having all kinds of budgets fixed for the next coming years, but we said we will start building along the way. And we reached out to the Expat Spouse Initiative of Eindhoven, and we said, let's not talk about it even more, let's just do it. And that is something that really, is something that Eindhoven and Wageningen really do well together. So it's the same mindset we recognize in each other. And of course, we have ecosystems in all sorts and all measures. And that also means that if we picture ourselves as an organization in an ecosystem, in, for example, the region Food Valley, that's an ecosystem, but we also have family ecosystems. And we realize increasingly that that is important for our employees. And that is something we want to attract also in people. And we would like to offer help to the ecosystem of our employees. Well, what did we do to really get started? We organized an internationalization working group. And we said, what can we do on a practical level to make more internationals feel at home within our organization? What do we have to do? Well, they said, maybe it's good to have some KPIs set. So on the total numbers of international employees we want to have in 2025, we have set a number. We also said it's not only that we have the total numbers, but we also want to have international employees on senior positions so that they can also have an impact on our organization, also on a management level. And we said we also want international people in our staff departments because they were traditionally very white, very male, and very Dutch. So that's one of the things that would help us achieve our goals. And we also said we have some practical hints and tips about the recruitment, about onboarding, and especially on retainment. And in that retainment part, language plays an important role, but also a Dual Career Center. And by saying so, I would like to give the floor to Ling Tong, who has been setting the Dual Career Center up with Expat Spouse Initiative.
Okay, thank you, Joyce.
Yep.
And so as the startup of a Dual Career Center, like Joyce already explained, that we think big, but we start small. So this mind shifting that I would like to categorize in these three perspectives. So the bottom-up approach and the collaborative, and also the target group oriented approach. So with the bottom-up, like exactly like Joyce has explained, that we started from the community. So it's really a community-based build up of the program. So including the program design, including we call the user study, and also the team recruitment, they are all from community. So instead of we have a big campaign about a dual career, we really started from the community itself. So we already have this group of spouse in Wageningen, then we start from them, really listen to what they need. Oh, sorry, go back. Yeah, thanks. And then we found the Expat Spouse Initiative in Eindhoven because of their experiences and also expertise in hosting the dual career program in the Eindhoven region. Yeah, also like Joyce said, we found each other, we recognized some common value between us. So we partnered together with them, and they have guided us through the whole building up of the program design and also the dual career center, including the team training, including the program design, of course, and also in the future with nurturing the ecosystem in our Wageningen, or let's say the Food Valley region. We'll be partnered together with Expat Spouse Initiative. So we're very proud of this collaborative approach as well. And then the last one, not the least, is the target group oriented. This is a really new approach, and I think it's really shows that we care about each individual of our employee, because in each we call it cohort approach. Because in each approach, in each cohort, we put let's say, similar profile community members together in the cohort, and then we really stimulate them to be self-driven and self-managing the cohort. And this cohort will be paid special attention by the program itself to adjust their pace of development, let's say. So this is really what we are proud of, because we take each individual, or let's say each target group, seriously. And then I'm very proud to present our, let's say, the program of the Dual Career Center. So after our the user study, so after talking to really our target group, the spouses, we have identified these 4 big main gaps in their career development in the Netherlands. I think if you're an expat, or especially if you're an expat spouse, you probably will very well recognize these 4 gaps, starting from, of course, the career gap. And then with the, if you are new to the Netherlands, for instance, and then this labor market might be completely different from what is in your country. So to adapt to a whole new labor market can be difficult. And then, of course, culture is another thing. Almost every international will recognize this gap. And also the language comes along with that. So not only for international, but especially for some spouses with very specific professional terms, for instance, the language can be quite a barrier to a new job market. And then the last one we identify is the network. If you're new to a country, if you're new to a new environment, of course you lose your old network. You need to start building your let's say, friendship or network in a new area. This can be very difficult, especially if you don't know anyone yet. So after identifying these 4 gaps in the Dual Career Center, we built our program, again, based on each cohort's pace. Usually the program runs for 6 months, and with every week there is, let's say, an event that is tailored to overcome these 4 gaps. So we have the, let's say, for instance, career training, and then cultural workshops, and also the language courses, all included in the program. Yeah, by doing so, we really hope to facilitate and nurturing our expat spouses to reach their career development goal. And what will happen in the future is we would like to build the ecosystem, of course. I think this is the importance of collaboration again. We, as Wageningen University Research, we initiated the Dual Career Center in at this moment. But of course, we cannot be successful without the whole ecosystem and the whole region around us. So from where we'll start from the Wageningen region, let's say the Food Valley region, and partner together with big companies such as Friesland Campina and Unilever that is already located in our region. And then later on, we look forward to build more connections and networks in the whole, let's say, pan-Netherlands area, starting with, for instance, together with our 4TU program. So we don't only collaborate on scientific area, we really hope to partner up with more, not only universities, but industries together on, more on human resource or diversity and inclusion level development.
Yeah.
So with this one, we would like to have some contribution also from the audience, if possible.
Yes, great. Thanks, Linton, and thanks, Joyce. It was really nice to see what you're doing, actually visually. And as you mentioned, you have touched 3 points, like one was the dual career, how important it is. And one was the collaboration with the Expert Spouses Initiative, also with other. You are leader actually in the collaboration because you collaborate with everybody and you create this ecosystem. And third point was that you are actually a big player in your region. So you have a collaboration with all these companies, also with all these institutes. So I have a question. You find this dual career very important, and as I said before, your diversity and inclusion, you take it very serious, and also you look after the families. That is your secret. But why do you find it so important? What is the motivation behind dual career? Why should other companies actually follow a similar approach?
Yeah, shall I?
Sure. Anybody?
Yeah, I think that together, because talent is scattered all around the world. If people decide for one reason or another to move, to shift places, to move all over the world, why not use that talent in all companies or organization around the world? So that is, I guess, the best way and the quickest way to build a good network and a good ecosystem of talent, maybe along the world. We said think big. People are always coming with spouses who also have talents, and it's a waste of talent if you don't offer them jobs in the region. So let's use the talents we have in the region in order to even grow as an organization. So yes. That's why, I would say
that makes
every
sense.
company, every organization should do so.
But still, we see that a lot of companies don't collaborate. They don't know how to collaborate to win. And you are leading that example. And do you have any advice for other companies how to collaborate to win?
Yeah.
Why is it so important?
And why is it difficult? Because we've been thinking about this for years. And we made the step of doing and saying to the Expert Spouse Initiative, to Cavita, we will work along with you. And that was maybe the biggest change in doing so, because if you take the first step, because sometimes it's difficult to think about where to start. And if somebody else already has done it, that's the most difficult part. So why not follow and why not cooperate and collaborate on that level and then make it your own? The first step is the hardest one.
Yeah.
And if you collaborate on that, then the rest it's hard work still. But that was the most difficult part. What do you think, Linton?
Yeah, I can't agree more with that. So like exactly like you said, think big, but then start small. I mean, it's really difficult to make the first step, but then in this case, for instance, war has started in the region, then I would say maybe you can reach out to us.
Yes, because
for our taste,
that's how you started, right, Joyce?
Yeah.
When you talked about this collaboration, that we said we are going to stop talking and just start implementing. So that's the way to go. And also you mentioned about the innovation topic, and given the pandemic situation, actually, I have another question here from the audience. I would love to join you from DCS Groningen, although perhaps far away. Are all spouses involved, partners of all academic staff?
No, actually, we don't have much scientific staff spouse at this moment. Our spouse are really have very wide backgrounds. So some from engineering up to education. So some of the talents that we can, let's say, facilitate in Wageningen University and research, but I believe there are more chances outside of our organization. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's exactly why we need a wide collaboration on this as well.
And I have another question. It said, I studied agricultural engineer, and during Corona time, it's difficult to find people in agriculture sector. So do you have any advice which way to go?
I wasn't aware of this. From the people I talked to during the Corona pandemic, actually, the agriculture sector wasn't very much influenced. So the companies have kept hiring, and then the investment have been going on. So let's say from the information I have, I think there are quite some opportunities still. Yeah, and it's only getting better. So.
And I have another question. Says, what are your concrete activities related to these teams? So I think this question you can answer maybe. You can connect after this session. You can connect with LinkedIn and Joyce, because it's quite a broad question. I know that you are doing a lot of activities for each teams. Yep. So I think we don't have time to explain. So sorry about that, but you can contact them through Swapcard, and you can just go to their profile and make a meeting request. And I also have, that was my last question. The topic of innovation. So given the pandemic situation, inclusion is very important, you mentioned, and you are doing a lot of things, but as HR people who are very continuously focusing on this inclusion, can you share with us your experience of last 9 months on how you creatively and proactively handled the employee-centered approach?
Joyce?
Yes, shall I? We tried to focus on what people need. So we more actively asked people with questionnaires of what they need in order to do their job well. That is one thing. We learned a lot about what people want and what we can do and to facilitate that innovation. That's one thing. We also said what was a big change is that the pandemic made that we had to work out of trust. So we gave people a lot of responsibilities and a lot of freedom, and that paid out. So if we look at what we achieve, also not only as an HR community, but we made a lot of efforts and a lot of innovation, and we offered a lot of trainings. We went one day or another, we went digital with all our education. So that made an enormous leap in innovation, in systems and in research.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can keep that pace, and we keep what is good out of the pandemic.
It's amazing how we find a way, right? It's a new way of working. I think we can always combine it in the future. And all companies are, they found a way how to work it out. I mean, it is never the same, but it's amazing how you're doing this also. And that question which was asked before, the person has sent again, I meant, do you also help partners of PhDs?
Yeah, in the World Dual Career Program, we do help with all level of spouses. Also, if a student would bring the family, and actually we also welcome them to join our program. We think everyone counts. Everyone's needs is important.
Yeah, and then they can find your information. They can contact you, right, for further information.
Yeah.
Yes, and we are coming to the end. So thank you, Joyce and LinkedOn, for this great and inspiring session. And you are truly leaders in this collaboration and in a dual career and everything, employee engagement. So thank you. And also thank you for everybody who joined the session. And yeah, I hope that you enjoyed the sessions all day. And yeah, if you want to connect with each other, please just connect on the swap card.
Thank you for inviting us.